I love math. Math loves me. Let's do some long division polynomially. All right, guys. Okay, so remember that division is simply the inverse of multiplication. In other words, if I take 7 times 4, that equals 28. What's 28? Divided by 4, it's simply 7. So to make a polynomial, I could take x plus 1 and x minus 3, and I could multiply them together. So that would equal what? X squared, and then minus 3x plus 1x is minus 2x, and 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Another way to think about that is to think about these as the factors of this polynomial. And I divide that by, say, x plus 1. Then what should I get? Well, since multiplication and division are inverses, I should get x minus 3, correct? So we're going to focus on the x's, right? We're not going to worry so much about this 1, and everything will work itself out in the end. Trust me on this one. So x goes into x squared x times, right? Because x times x is x squared. So I'm going to put that x up above in the linear column here. And just like I do with regular long division, I'm going to multiply that x times the x minus 1 and put that answer down here. So x times x plus 1 is going to give me x squared, and then the x times the 1 is simply plus x. I simply took x times x plus 1. Now I need to subtract, okay? So we can think about subtraction is just adding the opposites. So x squared minus x squared is going to cancel. And over here, negative 2x, I'm going to change, think of this as minus, right? If I distribute that minus there, minus x equals negative 3x, like such. We're going to, again, ask ourselves, how many times does x go into negative 3x? And the answer, of course, is negative 3. And then I'm going to take that negative 3 times the x plus 1, negative 3x minus 3. Okay, and now I need to subtract. Well, I could have brought this down as well, maybe make it a little more clear. So I'm going to subtract these two. Notice they're the same thing. So when I subtract them, I'm going to end up with a remainder of 0. It's simply x minus 3, which we knew already from doing our foiling. Okay? So once again, math takes something extremely simple and makes it look very complicated. All right, so here's another problem, and this one's going to really be enjoyable because it has a remainder. And it is a third degree polynomial. That makes it a little more fun. And our x has a coefficient. Oh boy, this is, I'm just so excited. Are you excited, Mr. Brain? Look, Mr. Brain's excited too. If this is a third degree polynomial, we need a cubic term, a quadratic term, a linear term, and a constant term. But what are we missing here? We're missing the quadratic term. We're going to put a placeholder there. We're going to move these over, and then I'm going to put a 0x squared there. Let's see what we get. Okay, so again, we start off by just looking at the x term, 2x. And we ask ourselves, how many times does 2x go into 8x cubed? Well, the 2 goes into 8, 4, and the x goes into x cubed, x squared times. So that's going to be a squared value, so we're going to put it above our placeholder here. So we're going to put 4x squared. You can always check if you did it correctly because your first term should be the same. What do I mean by that? 4x squared times 2x should equal 8x cubed. Then you know you did it right. To multiply the 4x squared times the negative 3, which is going to give us negative 12x squared. Okay, then we're going to subtract these two. Remember, when I subtract, I'm really just changing those signs and adding. So this first term cancels out. It should always cancel out, or you did something wrong. And then the second term is just 12x squared. Okay, and then let's bring down the next term, minus 16x, and let's divide again. So 2x goes into 12x squared how many times? Well, the 2 goes into 12 6 times, plus 6, and the x goes into x squared x times. 6x times 2x is 12x squared, so we're good. Let's do the second term. 6x times negative 3 is negative 18x. Okay, is adding the opposites. Okay, first term cancels. Second term leaves us with just 2x. We're having fun now. Negative 4. How many times does 2x go into 2x? Hopefully you all said 1. Okay, notice we're in our constant column. And then, of course, 1 times 2x minus 3 is just 2x minus 3. Don't forget to change the sign.
And we get negative 1.
What do we do with our remainder?
Minus 1
over our divisor, 2x minus 3. What is 8x cubed minus 16x minus 4 divided by 2x minus 3? It's 4x squared plus 6x plus 1
minus 1 over 2x minus 3.
I know you're having fun now, okay? What this remainder also tells us is that 2x minus 3 is not a factor of this polynomial. Therefore, 3/2 is not one of the roots. All right? I hope you had a lot of fun, and you'll have even more fun trying this out yourself on some problems on WebAssign. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or post a comment below. So I hope that was helpful. And remember, Mr. Brain says, why can't we all just get a long division? Have a great one, guys.